just holding himself with one hand. Once everything's clear, he'll check down below, hold himself steady with one hand, release the brake, and when he's ready, he'll look down and he'll just descend.
My name's Robert Seiler. I'm Business Development Manager Asia Pacific for CASI, which is Cornerstone Automation. We manufacture conveyor systems from fairly standard conveyors up to quite sophisticated sortation systems and order picking systems. Well, we've got a new machine called an Inbot, which basically can cut open boxes for order picking or returns or the like. You can do about 600 boxes an hour. There's two advantages. Obviously, you might have several people doing that in your warehouse, which you don't need anymore. Probably the main advantage is also OH&S, where you don't have people with knives in the warehouse, they don't cut themselves, which sometimes can be quite costly from an OH&S perspective. Well, CASI does order fulfillment systems. That goes from a standard sort of conveyor system routing around cartons in the warehouse so that you reduce your travel time for people. It can get more sophisticated in that we zone route, which means we direct the carton to where it needs to go in the warehouse. So it's not much less manual handling. Then basically the next step would be maybe to introduce RF picking along with that. So you scan the carton that comes into your zone, and the RF device would then tell you where to go within the shelving area or racking area, what to pick, bring it back to that carton, put it in the carton. Another step up, or probably more like a parallel sort of thing, would be voice picking. If scanning is not that required, some people like to scan their product just to verify that it's the correct product. With voice picking, obviously you have your both hands free, so you can pick heavier items or full cartons. Well, people have been receptive to that. It's more a question, I believe, in the long term, the staff shortage that people face in the warehouse. I mean, to be realistic, nobody really wants to pick cartons in a warehouse all day. So you've got to try and make it as efficient as possible, and you've got to try to make the workplace as good as possible to retain staff. Now, finding 20 people to pick very manually is hard. Finding maybe 10 people to pick with an RF device, using RF or voice, is still hard, but obviously you only have to get half the staff, and the staff are more likely to stay there because the work environment's much nicer than scribbling on paper or whatever they were doing before. So yeah, it's two things. You've got your productivity gain using RF and your accuracy gain, but I think it's also in the long term, with the age of the Australian population and the way things turn out, I think to get staff that want to work in the warehouse, you've got to offer them a nice working environment too.